Beaverton School expected to be completed next year. Dan Kearns, The Standard. Brock. The new Beaverton Public School construction project is one of several school projects to have their completion dates moved ahead 1 year. At a Durham District School Board DDSB meeting on Monday, January 23rd, trustees saw an update report on the board's construction projects. The new Beaverton Public School was among 4 schools to have the completion date moved to September 2024. Previously, these projects had a completion date of September 2023. The other projects included 2 schools in Oshawa and 1 in Pickering. The new school will replace and consolidate Beaverton Public School and Thora Central Public School on the Beaverton Public School site in Beaverton, the report explained. Trustees were informed the board had made some progress on the Beaverton project so far. "I'm happy to report we are progressing well up in Beaverton," Lisa Bianca, the board's head of facilities services, said. "And we anxiously await a Minister of Education announcement so we may proceed to construction in the spring." Pickering trustee Emma Cunningham questioned why multiple projects have had their completion deadlines extended. "The approval process with the ministry is quite lengthy. We have submitted for approvals for some projects, and over the past 3 years, the nature of the cost of construction has risen so precipitously. The funding we received in 2017 or 2018 simply wasn't sufficient to actually build the projects," Ms. Bianca responded. The board first received ministry approval to build the new Beaverton School in February 2018. "Thank you so much for your work on the Beaverton Thora rebuild. Understanding the first ministry approval was granted 5 years ago, it has taken us that long, but we are moving ahead," Brock Uxbridge and Scugog trustee Carolyn Morton stated.
Improper disposal of ashes is the believed cause of a recent Caesarea fire. Dan Kearns, The Standard. Scugog. A house fire in Caesarea in the early morning of Tuesday, January 24th, according to Scugog fire officials, is estimated to have caused $50,000 in damages. Scugog firefighters were called to a residence at 34 Park Street in Caesarea a little after 4 a.m. The fire appeared to have ignited on the deck and spread to the home at the rear of the structure, Fire Chief Mark Burney told The Standard. Gord Mahaffey, a neighbor of the residence, wrote in an email to The Standard, "The fire department's response was quick, and the flames were brought under control very quickly, but the house was full of dense smoke." The initial response involved 3 full-size fire engines arriving. A 4th fire truck arrived a few minutes later but cleared the scene almost immediately, as the situation was well under control, Mr. Mahaffey added. The fire chief believes this fire was caused by hot ashes improperly discarded. This unfortunate fire reminds us of the importance of discarding fireplace wood stove ashes. Discarded ashes must be placed in a metal fire-resistant container, then saturated with water and isolated outside away from combustibles, Chief Burney stressed.
Durham Children's Aid Society is hosting information sessions. Courtney McClure, The Standard. North Durham. Durham Children's Aid Society, CAS, will be hosting a few information sessions across the region of Durham throughout February. Consider joining CAS at the Scugog Community Recreation Center on February 9th from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. These information sessions have been organized to spread awareness and information to expel myths about the foster care system. "The best thing for children is they remain within their own communities and families," said the supervisor of the Recruitment, Assessment, and Development team at CAS, Effie Cowlin. CAS wants to convey how a foster parent's role can be a positive one for a child who has been put into the system. A foster care parent's responsibilities include making sure the foster child's needs are being met and the child is kept safe while they are there. For example, the foster care parent is responsible for taking the child to the doctor and any other appointments they may have. The communications coordinator for CAS, Andrea Mainza, said, "The presentation would cover why and how children come into foster care and the role foster parents play within the foster care system. Staff will also outline the application and orientation process, discuss available training for new parents, and much more." There will also be an opportunity to meet the CAS staff and ask questions of your own. According to Ms. Cowlin, the presentation will cover why Durham Children's Aid is looking for foster home parents. "Sometimes people think they need to be in a relationship to be able to foster," explained Ms. Cowlin. Clarifying, she added, we try to dispel the myth you have to be in a two-parent relationship to be able to foster. She gave another example of a myth within the foster care system, needing to own your own home. If you rent your home, you can still apply to be a parent in the Durham foster care system. For more information about Durham foster care, please visit the Durham Children's Aid Society website at durhamcas.ca, or you can email the CAS team at foster@durhamcas.ca. We really recommend, if people have the opportunity, to come to one of our information sessions, encouraged Ms. Cowlin. Curious community members are encouraged to join CAS at their information sessions to learn more about foster care.
Welcome to You've Got to Be Kidding, a podcast that offers a different perspective of life around us. Listen now to author Jonathan van Bilsen.
Last weekend, I had the pleasure of becoming an honorary Scot at the annual Robert Burns Supper held at the Port Perry Legion. The night was fantastic with an excellent dinner, amazing music, and a narrative description of who Robert Burns actually was. Being Dutch, you can appreciate the honor I felt when I was asked to toast the lassies at the dinner. Stuart Bennett of the Wee Tartan Shop and Bill Miners of Books Galore were the masterminds behind the evening, and they've been doing this for many years. Bill explained how the Burns Supper was held in more than 200 countries, which is not bad for a Scottish poet who lived around 264 years ago. Before I could deliver my 10-minute toast, I had to learn about Robert Burns, who was, after all, the reason for the celebration. Burns was born on January 25, 1759 in Ayrshire, Scotland. He died 37 years later and is widely regarded as the national poet of Scotland. In those 37 years, he wrote 550 poems, including A Red, Red Rose, Tam O'Shanter, and, of course, Auld Lang Syne. He also wrote the famous address to the haggis, recited at every Burns Supper worldwide. Along with his writings, he managed to father 13 children in 11 years with 5 different women, which must be some sort of record. He was certainly not a feminist, but his 2 main loves in life were women and politics. His writings are a testament to his views. His wife gave birth to their last child the day of his funeral. At the recent Burns dinner, Stuart Bennett addressed the haggis as only he can. I learned that haggis is not a furry little animal roaming the highlands of Scotland, but instead it's a savory pudding containing sheep's liver, heart, and lungs, minced with onion, oatmeal suet, spices, and salt, mixed with stock, and then cooked in a sheep's stomach. To my surprise, it was quite delicious. Bill Miners gave a well-written dissertation of the life of Robert Burns, and piper Lacey Otis led everyone in traditional Scottish tunes. The well-known group Claymore performed a selection of everyone's favorite hits. The evening was fantastic, and I was privileged to be a part of it. I'd recommend attending next year, even if you don't own a kilt or have Scottish roots, for no one does a party better than the Scots. I'm Jonathan van Bilsen, and this is You've Got to Be Kidding.
Movement for Life by Lauren Walker, special to the Standard. At 88 years old, my newest client is in the gym for the first time. The goal of our working together is to help strengthen her hip before hip replacement surgery. I've also worked with other clients in this period of time, and I nicknamed it pre-rehab for those awaiting surgery. In my client's case, she has already been to the doctor and they concluded she'll eventually need a replacement. What can be done in the meantime? Atrophy is a decrease in muscle after a long period of inactivity. This often occurs post-surgery. The goal of pre-rehab is to develop strength and grow muscle. In my experience, those with increased muscle mass tend to fare better post-surgery. The rate of atrophy is much less. Muscle is what keeps the joint in place, and strong muscle means my client can maintain functionality in the meantime. Quality of movement is so important. I may modify the movement depending on the individual. How do we strengthen the hip without causing further damage? These are the basic movements to focus on. 1. Squat. This is a very functional movement of the hip. To master a squat at chair height is ideal. This develops strength in the glutes, which are the large muscles of your rear end. 2. Lunge. Another functional movement of the hip which requires a 90-degree bend. 3. Weight bearing. To assess the client's ability to bear weight on one leg. With proper guidance, these are great ways to develop strength without using high-impact movement. Don't try these exercises on your own. Call us at 289-356-2140 to book an assessment, or stop by All Fit All Ages today. We are located across from Food Basics and beside Coldwell Banker. Are you considering eye surgery? By Tina Y. Gerber-McCurley. Laser eye surgery does and can correct several eyesight conditions. My mother was scheduled for cataract surgery but canceled at the last moment due to fear. Today, cataract surgery is typically performed with a high-frequency microincisional ultrasound device. While it is safe and provides good results, it is still dependent on the skill of the surgeon. I didn't blame Mom for canceling her surgery, as there were potential side effects, and it was expensive then. As she got older, she wished she had proceeded with her surgery. Many have laser surgery for glaucoma, which is used to open your eye drainage system, or they can and do create a new drainage system. Glaucoma is caused by fluid buildup behind the eye. This surgery helps decrease eye pressure and slows or prevents more damage to vision. Unlike vision loss from glaucoma, cataract vision loss can be regained. Most individuals who have laser-assisted surgery achieve 20/20 vision, or it is much improved. Laser eye surgery can fix vision issues, such as nearsightedness and farsightedness. My friend, who wears glasses 24/7, opted for this surgery, as wearing glasses isn't convenient in military life. He now has perfect vision. LASIK stands for Laser-Assisted In Situ Keratomileusis, and is the most common type of refractive eye surgery, patented in 1989. LASIK takes about 15 minutes per eye to perform, including adding numbing eye drops and replacing the corneal flap after reshaping. Most people can return to work after day surgery, although you should wait several days before resuming vigorous activities. The clinical name for nearsightedness is called myopia. A person with myopia can see objects close to them clearly, but distant objects appear blurry due to the curvature of the cornea being too steep. The converse condition and clinical name for farsightedness is hyperopia. Individuals with this condition can see objects in a distance, but other things can appear blurry at a close distance. Farsightedness is due to the curvature of the cornea being too flat. Then there are individuals with astigmatism. They have a differently shaped eye, which is characterized by this condition. The eye is in a football-like shape instead of a round soccer ball shape. To diagnose this properly, your eye surgeon will ask you detailed questions about your general health. Certain medical conditions unrelated to your eyes can increase the risks associated with or make the outcome less predictable. The main benefit of surgery is individuals will no longer need to wear corrective lenses to see clearly until later years. When choosing an eye surgeon, talk with your family doctor, usual eye professional, and any family and friends who have had a successful experience. Surgery, whether minor or major, can be scary and fill you with anxiety. Praise God for modern medicine's ability to enable successful healing and recovery. Remember, those who know Him can always ask for God's protection and safety, both physically and mentally, against harm and pain. Trust God. Read Philippians 4:19.
You've Got to Be Kidding was presented by X4 Media with permission from the Standard Media Group. We endeavor to make all information contained in this program as accurate as possible at production time. X4 Media and the Standard Media Group are not responsible for any liabilities resulting from information contained in this program. For more information, please visit x4media.ca.
The Standard Podcast was produced by Greenstream Studio for the Standard newspaper.